You're not going to believe this crazy story, but it's 100% real. And it all started back in the late 80s. Before we dive into this intriguing story, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories. So, picture this. Lena is a 20-year-old college student living her life in Virginia. Everything was going fine until she met John Wayne. You heard that right? John Wayne. He was 22, a Marine, and they hit it off right away. Fast forward a bit, and they're married a year later. I mean, they looked so happy on their wedding day, right? But man, things took a turn for the worse pretty fast. John Wayne gets discharged from the Marines, and guess what? He can't find steady work. So Lena ends up becoming the breadwinner. That's a lot of stress for anyone, but it got worse. John, who loved to drink way too much, started getting more aggressive. And it wasn't just verbal, it was physical. He was pushing her, punching her, and making their fights escalate. To the point where they were calling the cops on each other. Yep, it got that bad. Then it gets even worse. Lena finds out she's pregnant, and John doesn't think she'd be a good mom. So he pressures her into getting an abortion. And that's when Lena starts to resent him even more. Their marriage, which was already toxic, was now hanging by a thread. They both knew it was over. Lena tried to get a protective order against him, and John, well, he was asking for a divorce. But what happens next is the kind of stuff you only see in movies. One night, it's 1993, and John's been out drinking all night, completely wasted. Lena's at home asleep, and he stumbles in, still drunk off his mind. He barges into their bedroom and, get this, allegedly assaults her. Afterward, he passes out right there on the bed. Lena, totally disgusted, gets up and heads downstairs to get some water. And that's when she sees it, a big kitchen knife. But you can almost feel her thinking, I'm not taking this anymore. So she grabs that knife, goes back upstairs, and finds him still passed out. What does she do? She cuts his manhood off. She stands there, holding it. And John wakes up to that reality. But in his drunken state, he doesn't even realize what's happening. He's just confused, like, what's going on? Meanwhile, Lena, probably in a mix of shock, anger, and adrenaline, runs out of the room, gets in her car and speeds off. But there's a little problem. She still has John's part. She can't focus on driving. So she rolls down the window and chucks it out. Yep, she threw it out the window like it was yesterday's trash. It lands in a field and she keeps going. Lena finally pulls up at her boss's house. She's frantic, shaking, and tells her boss what happened. The boss says, "We should probably call the cops." And so they do. The police show up and Lena's boss tells them everything. The cops are like, all right, where can we find it? They head over to that field and start combing through the grass. Can you imagine that? They're out there looking for John's part. And finally, after a while, they find it. But wait, one of the officers steps on it. Yep, steps right on it. How awkward, right? The cops put it in a hot dog box. They bring it to the hospital where John Wayne, who's still clueless about what happened, gets surgery to reattach it. And guess what? It works. Yeah, his situation is back to normal, but things are just getting started. Lena gets arrested, but here's the wild part. When it all went to trial, John Wayne's trial for the assault was a circus. They actually showed photos of his private parts to the jury. It was beyond bizarre, but even though he had done something awful, the jury decided he wasn't guilty. And it gets even crazier because Lena's trial came next. She admitted she'd lost her mind in that moment and claimed temporary insanity. The jury found her not guilty, so no prison time for either of them. Now, after all this, John Wayne seemed to love the attention. He went on to start a band called Severed Parts, starred in a crazy adult film called John Wayne Bobbitt, Uncut, and even got a penis enlargement surgery after people raised money for it. But don't worry, it didn't stop there. He got arrested again, this time for battery, and even had to get that enlargement reversed because, well, it didn't go as planned. Lena, on the other hand, kept a low profile. She later founded her own organization to help victims of domestic violence, which was pretty amazing given everything she had gone through. It's one of those stories that you just can't make up. From the headlines to late-night TV, everyone was talking about it. It's weird, it's tragic, and it's also kind of hilarious in the most absurd way. But the truth is, both of them went through something that no one should ever have to experience, and their lives were forever changed because of it. Share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing stories.